Have you ever felt like your legs aren't as strong as they used to be? Have you ever felt like your legs are no longer as steady as they once were? That even a short walk leaves you breathless? That standing in the kitchen for too long makes your knees ache? Have you ever wondered, why could I walk for hours without any trouble before, but now even a few steps feel so difficult? I've been there too. I still remember a few years ago I could step outside every morning, breathe in the fresh air, and take a walk around the neighborhood without feeling the slightest bit tired. I used to take pride in my strong legs. But then, little by little, everything changed. At first, it was just mild knee pain, fleeting and not too serious. I thought it was just a normal sign of aging. But over time, the heaviness in my legs when climbing stairs became more frequent. I started to notice that I couldn't stand in the kitchen for as long as I used to. Just a short while, and I would have to hold onto a chair to relieve the pressure on my legs. Even then, I still didn't think it was anything serious. I told myself maybe I just haven't been moving around as much. But then one day, I saw an old friend, someone my age, who could still walk briskly, climb stairs without a problem. And I suddenly asked myself, why is he still so strong while I'm not? None of us want to lose our independence. I know exactly how that feels. When even simple things like going for a walk or playing with your grandkids become a challenge. When every step makes you anxious, fearing that your legs might not be strong enough to keep you balanced. I used to think it was all just aging, that there was nothing I could do about it. But I was wrong. The truth is, age is not the only reason our legs weaken. There were foods I had been eating for years without realizing they were silently draining my strength from within. Everyday foods that seemed harmless were actually weakening my muscles, wearing down my joints, and making every step harder. I didn't realize it until everything became clear. When I changed my diet, I felt the difference. In just a short time, I felt lighter, and my legs became stronger. I could walk longer without getting tired. I could stand in the kitchen and cook without needing to lean on a chair. And today, I want to share with you what I've learned so you don't have to go through what I did. There are 3 types of foods that many older adults consume daily without knowing they're quietly destroying their legs little by little. But don't worry, I won't just tell you what to avoid. I'll also show you what you should do to regain strength in your legs. Let's find out together right now. 1. Refined sugar, the silent enemy of your joints. I used to think that a little sweetness in my day couldn't possibly do any harm. A morning cup of coffee tasted better with a few spoonfuls of sugar. After a meal, a cookie or a cold soda made me feel more satisfied. These were just small pleasures, not something to worry about. But then I started noticing changes in my body, and not for the better. At first, I didn't pay much attention. I had maintained these habits for years. But gradually, my legs felt heavier, my knees stiffened in the mornings, and walking for long periods became more tiring. I thought it was simply due to a lack of exercise. However, when I started researching, the truth shocked me. Sugar doesn't just contribute to weight gain or diabetes, it is also a hidden culprit behind joint deterioration. When you consume too much sugar, your body releases inflammatory compounds that make your knee and ankle joints ache even more. Worse, sugar interferes with calcium absorption, making bones more brittle and prone to fractures over time. I was stunned to learn that just 1 can of soda could strip a significant amount of calcium from my body. That's not all. Sugar also drains your energy quickly. After a sugary breakfast, I felt sluggish, my legs heavy, and I lacked the energy to move as I used to. At first, I thought I just needed to exercise more, but no matter how much I tried, nothing changed. I knew I had to make a change. I started gradually reducing my sugar intake, replacing refined sugar with honey, stevia, or natural fruits. I cut back on sweets, sodas, and processed foods. At first, giving up that familiar sweetness wasn't easy, but I stayed consistent, little by little. Then, something amazing happened. Within just a few weeks, my legs felt lighter, and I experienced less morning stiffness. I could walk for longer without getting tired, and my overall health improved significantly. I'm not saying you have to eliminate sugar completely overnight, but if you're experiencing weak, aching legs, try making small changes. Even the tiniest adjustment can make a huge difference. Start today, and your legs will thank you for it. 2. Fried foods, the enemy of your muscles and blood circulation. Some mornings, I would wake up with my legs feeling incredibly heavy, as if they had carried an entire day's exhaustion, even though my day had just begun. At first, I thought it was just a normal part of aging. But when this kept happening more frequently, I started wondering, what am I doing wrong? I never imagined that a few fries or a piece of fried chicken could cause serious problems. These were familiar comfort foods, little joys shared during family meals. I still remember treating myself to a hot serving of fried chicken on weekends, believing that a small indulgence wouldn't impact my health. But I was wrong. Gradually, my legs felt heavier and lost strength faster when walking. Climbing stairs became painful for my knees. Each morning, I woke up with tingling, swollen legs. When I finally saw a doctor, he simply looked at my diet and said, "If you don't make a change now, your legs will only get weaker." I did some research and discovered that trans fats in fried foods cause inflammation, weaken knee joints, and disrupt blood circulation, leading to numbness, cold feet, and swelling. Not only that, but my weight also increased, putting extra pressure on my knees. That's when I realized it wasn't aging that was working against me, but rather my own unhealthy eating habits. So I decided to change. I replaced fried foods with steamed, grilled, or boiled meals to preserve nutrients without the excess oil. I switched to olive oil and avocado oil instead of industrial cooking oils. At first, I still craved the crispy texture of fries, but I reminded myself, is a moment of indulgence worth years of pain? Within just a few weeks, my legs felt lighter and I no longer experienced morning stiffness. I could walk longer without losing energy too quickly. Most importantly, I realized that I could take control of my health with just a few small adjustments to my diet. However, fried foods aren't the only culprit behind weak legs. There's another type of food that seems harmless but is secretly wearing down your joints every single day. What is it? Let's find out next. 3. High-sodium foods, the silent killer of your bones. I still remember how strong my legs used to be when I was younger. I could walk for hours, stand in the kitchen all day, and never feel tired. But then, one day, I realized I wasn't the same anymore. Even a short walk made my knees ache, and my ankles felt heavy. Every morning, I woke up with swollen legs for no apparent reason. I thought it was just a normal part of aging until I discovered that one of my everyday eating habits was silently destroying my bones, consuming too much salt. For years, I never thought salt could affect my bones. I wasn't a fan of sweets, and I didn't drink soda, but I loved flavorful food. Adding a little extra salt to my soup, dipping my meals in fish sauce, and eating pickled vegetables daily, these seemingly harmless habits were actually weakening my bones little by little. My doctor told me that excess salt causes calcium loss, making bones more brittle and prone to fractures. The more salt you consume, the more calcium your body flushes out through urine. Not only that, but salt also disrupts circulation, making your legs tire easily, feel numb, and swell. I knew I had to make a change. I started gradually reducing my salt intake, using natural seasonings like garlic, ginger, and pepper to enhance flavor without harming my bones. I switched to Himalayan pink salt and increased my intake of potassium-rich foods like bananas, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens to help balance sodium levels in my body. In just a short time, the swelling in my legs disappeared. I could walk more easily, and my legs no longer felt heavy every morning. I realized that taking care of my legs isn't just about taking calcium supplements or exercising. It's also about eating the right foods. But salt isn't the only culprit behind weak legs. There's another common food that most people consume daily without realizing how much it contributes to muscle deterioration. Are you unknowingly consuming it every day? Let's find out next. 4. Sugary drinks, the bone breaker hiding in your diet. Have you ever wondered why your bones are getting weaker, even though you're trying to get enough calcium? I used to believe that drinking milk every day was enough to protect my bones, but then I realized that some of my favorite drinks were silently depleting the calcium in my body. I had a habit of drinking a can of soda every day, especially during lunch or after meals. At the time, I thought a small can couldn't possibly harm my health. It made me feel refreshed and energized, and there were no immediate negative effects. But over time, my legs started showing concerning signs. My knees ached more often, my joints felt stiff in the mornings, and nighttime leg cramps became more frequent. At first, I assumed it was just aging. But when I visited my doctor, he told me something that shocked me. Sugary drinks, especially soda, were silently stripping calcium from my bones. I didn't believe it at first, since I had been drinking soda for years without any serious problems. But after researching more, I discovered that a single can of soda could reduce calcium levels in my body by up to 30%. Not only that, but it also disrupts magnesium balance, making muscles more prone to cramps and weakness over time. I knew I couldn't continue like this. I decided to cut out soda completely and replace it with healthier alternatives. At first, giving up soda wasn't easy, but I constantly reminded myself that a moment of satisfaction wasn't worth years of weak bones and aching joints. I switched to water, herbal teas, and natural fruit juices. When I wanted extra flavor, I added fresh lemon or orange slices to my water. I also reduced my intake of store-bought fruit juices, as they contained far more sugar than I had ever realized. Within a few weeks, I noticed a dramatic difference. My bones no longer ached, my legs felt lighter, and the nighttime cramps disappeared. The sense of energy and alertness I once sought from soda was now coming from a healthier body and stronger legs. If you're drinking sugary beverages every day without realizing their impact, try making a change today. Gradually cut back and replace them with better choices. I did it, and I know you can too. Don't let a can of soda today cost you years of strong, healthy legs in the future. 5. Refined grains, the energy thief. I used to think that having white bread for breakfast or a bowl of white rice for dinner was completely normal, a simple, familiar eating habit. These foods had been a part of my daily diet for years, and I never questioned them. But sometimes the things we're most accustomed to are the very ones silently weakening our health without us even realizing it. I started noticing changes in my body. In the mornings, I felt energized after eating, but within an hour, I would suddenly feel sluggish, my legs felt heavy, and I lost all motivation. I used to be able to walk for hours without feeling tired, but lately, even a short distance left me exhausted. My knees began aching, and I couldn't stand for long like I used to. At first, I thought this was just another sign of aging. But when this pattern kept repeating, I knew something wasn't right. I decided to take a closer look at my diet, and that's when I discovered the truth I had been overlooking. Refined grains like white bread, white rice, and pasta made from refined flour were gradually deteriorating my health. These foods contain very little fiber and protein, causing blood sugar levels to spike right after eating, giving a temporary burst of energy. But shortly after, blood sugar levels dropped dramatically, leading to sudden fatigue, heavier legs, and faster exhaustion when moving. That's when I realized it wasn't a lack of exercise or poor sleep that was draining my energy, it was the food I was eating every day that was quietly robbing me of my strength. I knew I had to make a change. I started replacing white bread with whole grain bread, swapping white rice for brown rice, and adding oats to my breakfast. These fiber-rich foods helped stabilize blood sugar levels and provided sustained energy throughout the day. In addition, I incorporated more protein-rich foods like eggs, fish, beans, and nuts to strengthen my muscles and reduce post-meal fatigue. This change didn't happen overnight, but within just a few weeks, I felt a noticeable difference. I no longer experienced midday crashes, my legs felt lighter, and I could walk longer without getting exhausted. The sudden knee pains also significantly decreased, allowing me to enjoy life more freely. Looking back on my journey, I realized that there are 5 types of foods that most of us consume daily, yet they quietly weaken our legs and joints over time. Refined sugar causes chronic inflammation, making bones more brittle and joints more painful with movement. Fried foods contain trans fats that hinder blood circulation, leading to numbness in the legs and rapid weight gain, which puts extra pressure on the knees. High-sodium foods deplete calcium from the bones, making them more prone to fractures and causing morning leg swelling. Sugary drinks not only increase the risk of diabetes but also strip essential minerals from the body, leading to muscle weakness and accelerated joint deterioration. Refined grains like white bread, white rice, and pasta cause blood sugar fluctuations, draining energy and making legs tire more easily. I changed my diet and the results were incredible. I no longer wake up with heavy legs, I can walk longer without feeling tired, and most importantly, I feel healthier than ever. Are you making these same mistakes without realizing it? If you've been feeling weaker, more fatigued, or experiencing leg pain despite not overexerting yourself, take a closer look at your diet. Even the smallest change can make a huge difference. I did it, and I believe you can too. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like and share to help others. And be sure to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Story so you don't miss out on more tips for staying active and healthy every day. Stay tuned for upcoming content where I'll share even more secrets to maintaining strong, healthy legs over time.